This is a stimulus update and daily news report. Got some big breaking news. The governor has just announced new $350 stimulus checks. I'll let you know which state and who gets it. Bernie Sanders is not giving up on child tax credits, and there is foodflation. Grocery prices are now more expensive than restaurant prices, and a new Democrat has just announced he will not support President Biden in the 2024 presidential election. It'll give you some other more important updates as well. Hope you're having a terrific Tuesday. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below, and I'm giving $200 to my subscribers. I'll talk more about that later on in the video, but first, new aid. Americans will get $350 relief checks from $1.2 billion pot under brand new direct payment schedule starting September. So this was actually just announced yesterday, and it's coming from a state that has offered a few different stimulus checks in the past and a lot of aid. Take a look at this video clip right here explaining more.
All new this morning, people all across Georgia will soon get a $350 check.
Georgia Governor Brian Kemp made that announcement yesterday.
We're providing over $1 billion to the Department of Human Services to provide cash assistance of $350 to active enrollees of Medicaid, SNAP, and TANF government benefit programs.
You must have been enrolled in one of those programs by July 31st. The Department of Human Services will contact eligible Georgia residents through the state's online portal.
So it looks like Georgia sending out another round of stimulus checks, this time $350, and they should be going out in September. A lot of checks coming from Georgia. There's a few states that are just sending out 2, 3, 4 rounds of stimulus checks, and then there's states not sending out anything. Do you think more states should do it? Let me know down in the comments below. Is your state sending out stimulus checks, or should they? Let me know your thoughts. When it comes to this stimulus update, Bernie Sanders not giving up on child tax credit extension. So the child tax credit from 2020, that was really popular because it was giving out $350, or it was $250 and $300 per month. Now it is back down to a maximum of $2,000 for the year, no monthly installments. But Bernie Sanders has tried to put that into the Inflation Reduction Act. It did not go through, and he is not giving up on it. So there are some states that are giving out child tax credits, boosted child tax credits. For example, Connecticut giving out $250 checks, Vermont giving out $1,000 checks, which is Bernie Sanders' state. But in terms of a federal level, Bernie Sanders has tried to do it. Bernie Sanders recently announced plans to introduce an amendment to expand the child tax credit for the next 5 years. That got shut down. So Bernie Sanders is trying, but it's an uphill battle because a lot of his Democrat colleagues are not in support of the child tax credit. Seems like Bernie Sanders and maybe just a few people. So federally, doesn't seem like it's going to go through. When it comes to inflation, grocery store prices surged higher than restaurant prices in July. So does it make sense now to eat at a restaurant compared to buying food at a grocery store and cooking it yourself? So it seems like foodflation is still high, despite gas prices and oil prices going down. Food is still really high. Take a look at this video clip explaining more.
Can you actually save money by eating out more often? For the first time since the 1970s, consumers are seeing the biggest inflationary gap between their groceries and their restaurants. Brooke DePalma here with the details. Brooke, what are we learning?
That's right, Dave. Consumers are seeing the biggest gap in nearly 50 years between food at restaurants and their trip to the local grocery store. The cost of food away from home is up 7.6% according to July's Consumer Price Index, up year over year. But the cost of food at home, that's your local grocery store, up 13.1% year over year. Now, the top items driving that growth of groceries includes eggs, up 38%, flour, and coffee. So, of course, Dave, this leaves consumers questioning, is it cheaper to go to a local grocery store or their local restaurant? Of course, when you're cooking at home, you have to gather multiple ingredients like eggs, flour, and maybe some coffee on the side.
So, Brooke, what's this doing for demand at some of those big name brand restaurants? Chipotle, McDonald's, two of a bit of a different stories. When you take McDonald's, more of a fast food chain, Chipotle, a little bit higher end. But are they seeing increased traffic, foot traffic, because of this?
Yeah, well, this is definitely a top conversation that C-suite executives have been having on calls with analysts this past earnings season. I do want to emphasize specifically what McDonald's CEO Chris Kempczinski said on a call with analysts. He acknowledged that food at home is increasing significantly faster than food away from home. And he said, I don't know what the impact of that is, but certainly we expect that there is some benefit that we're seeing as part of that, looking at good value for money. Of course, consumers looking to get those deals. Now, we did see gas peak in early June. Of course, consumers feeling the pinch from that. And according to ad tracking platform iSpot, these fast food restaurants certainly came out with deals in order to get the consumer back in the store. So earlier this year, from January to April, we saw brands offering deals and loyalty rewards, 46% of them. But in May to early August, that number increased to 58% of these names that we know, like McDonald's and Chipotle, offering more deals, more loyalty. Now, iSpot also did tell Yahoo Finance, as an ad tracking platform, once again, that regional brands like Bojangles and Del Taco used value more specifically than these big names in order to lure these customers in.
And Brooke, we could see some apparently higher prices thanks to the water crisis on the West Coast. What might be impacted?
That's right, that drought hitting so many farmers on the West Coast. I did speak to Brad Rubin of Wells Fargo before jumping on today, and he said that water availability is causing producers to move north and plant with higher contract prices. Now, what that means is 3 years ago, it cost tomato producers about $75 per a ton. Now, it costs them $130 for a ton. Now, in 2022, of course, that is the top news. Prices getting higher. But what exactly does that mean for companies like Kraft Heinz, who produces ketchup, as well as those favorite spaghetti sauce brands? Well, tomato producers are looking to produce about 12 million tons of paste. Now, that would require 60 million tons of tomatoes. So in this case, just to see on average, in 2015, California crop reached a peak of 14.4 million tons. Now in 2022, because of those droughts, the U.S. Department of Agriculture is saying that we're only seeing about 11.7 million tons. Now, once again, just to emphasize that number, these tomato producers require 60 million tons of tomatoes. So certainly something to keep a close eye on.
Certainly a heck of a lot of tomatoes. All right, Brooke DePalma, thanks so much.
So what are your thoughts on that? Let me know down in the comments below. Are you eating out more? Are you cooking yourself more, like going to the grocery store and making your own food at home? What's cheapest for you now? Let me know your thoughts on that. Moving on, Progressive Representative Jamal Bowman joins a list of Democrats who won't say whether they want Biden to run in 2024. So it's not so much of saying that they don't want President Biden to run. When they're asked the question, hey, are you going to support President Biden in running again in 2024? They say, well, I'm not focused on the 2024. Let's focus on 2022. Basically brushing it off. If they were in support, they would say, yes, I'm in support. So there's a growing list of Democrats not in support of it, and obviously Republicans not in support of President Biden running as well. Or maybe they would want President Biden to run because then they know they have a better chance. But take a look at this video clip right here.
And Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana joins me right now. Senator, good to see you. So give me your take. The liberals are bailing on Joe Biden 2024. Why so?
Some politicians in Washington, D.C., not all of them, but some care more about their problems than yours. And the thing they want most in the world is to be reelected. Certain members of President Biden's own party are running from him because they think President Biden will hurt their reelection. Now, why is that? In my judgment, President Biden has stepped on every rake in the yard. I don't mean to be unfair, but it's been cringeworthy. He has mismanaged Congress, mismanaged COVID, mismanaged crime, mismanaged the border, mismanaged Afghanistan, mismanaged the economy, mismanaged inflation, and forfeited America's energy independence. Now, President Biden obviously disagrees with that. He says he's doing a swell job, and as evidence, he offers the opinions of experts like Kamala Harris and Prince Harry. but I don't think most Americans are persuaded. I don't think the American people hate President Biden. I certainly don't. But I think a majority of the voters in our country at this juncture think he would be better off selling catheters on late night TV than serving as President of the United States. And those are just the facts.
I think you're right, Senator. I want to get your take on this because Biden just Democrats passed this $700 billion bill, a global warming bill that's going to drive inflation even higher. But then he gets on Air Force One and he spews carbon all over the East Coast, flies to South Carolina, and is hanging out in a $20 million carbon-emitting mansion with 9 bedrooms. What say you?
I say that the President and Senator Manchin's tax and spending bill is a massive transfer of capital from the pockets of the American people to the Green New Deal, and it's going to cause energy prices to go up. And you know how much it's going to reduce world temperatures? Zero. None. Nada. Because India and China and Indonesia and Russia and Sub-Saharan Africa and South America will continue to emit CO2. So Americans get to sacrifice. They get the spinach without any of the dessert, and that's the way I think most fair-minded people see it.
Despite President Biden having a really good week last week with the Inflation Reduction Act passing, poll numbers on the rise, a few other things, gas prices going down, inflation lower, President Biden's still having a tough time making it through. I think that was maybe a little peak, but I don't see things getting a lot better in terms of inflation. That's going to take a while. Gas prices, food prices, those are still high and going to take a while to come down. So I don't see it all good yet. But let me know your thoughts. Should President Biden run again in 2024? Let me know your thoughts on that. And that is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully brighten your day a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Bella. This is the tip of the day. I want to tell you something that you should really use. If you're like the pool or something and like you get hurt or something, you should just try your best, because sometimes that happens to me too, and it's not really fun. But if you got hurt like that one time, I'm sure you could deal with it, and you can be strong and powerful like how you are. So, bye! Hope you have a great day.
Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate all of your support. Don't forget $200 checks down in the description below if you want to sign up for that. And yesterday got to play some more pickleball, which was pretty cool. Got to play with my friends. Really nice weather down here in Myrtle Beach. It was like cool 70s, not as humid, not as hot. Rained a ton. I don't know. It was like lightning and thundering all night, which is crazy. But hopefully you have a great rest of your day. If you want to check out any of my other videos on my other channels, you could click right up here. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Be safe. Thank you for watching.